is surviving on the past investments, past platforms, past system, the 90s. For a while, the typical long cycle involved in defense development and procurement is hiding the true severity of the situation, which should not be underestimated, because we need a strong defense industry, as General Mercier asked before, but we need also a defense industry to provide a relevant contribution to the entire European economy. A recent study commissioned by EDA in fact showed that each 100 million cut from European Union defense expenditure implies 150 million fall in EU GDP, and the loss of 2,870 jobs, 760 of them well skilled. However, due to the lack of future large European programs, industry will no longer invest, unless it can see future and some market perspective. On the other side, there are still too few procurement projects coordinated by NATO, most of which have been structured in overly complex schemes with excessively strict schedules, sometimes decades, and at the end, usually the platform systems are technological obsolete. The industry consolidation process itself needs to be preceded by a real harmonization of demand. A single defense European market is still far from becoming a reality, and the current fragmentation in Europe certainly hampers the industry. And even if some sectors, for example aeronautics, space, rotorcraft, have been consolidated, it's necessary to relaunch cooperation also through joint development programs based on innovative criteria, innovative demand obviously, which respect the past. Our association will count the European Council proposal aimed at strengthening defense industry and technology base within Europe. In particular, is applied to the preparatory action, provided it leads to a significant defense R&D program in the next financial plan, 2021-2027. We have to not forget this important opportunity. Nevertheless, the need remains for more and significant defense programs that at the moment doesn't exist. European industry fully agree on the Wales Summit defense budget targets, as well as on the smart defense approach, seeing it as a means both for increasing the prospect real program which European industry can address, and for reducing the fragmentation within Europe. This fragmentation, coupled with the low levels of investment in defense in several European nations, is in fact a serious inhibitor to successful transatlantic defense industry collaboration. Likewise, NATO should welcome the outputs from the European Council and the proposed involvement of the Commission in defense R&D. The Chicago Summit statement contained an explicit call for a strong European defense industry and technology base. And the Council recommendation will help in a manner that does not impinge on the sovereignty in defense matter of individual member states. There is also a natural complementarity between NATO and the EU, since NATO is more focused on military aspect, whereas the EU brings strength in the civil dimension. This will be vital in many future defense and security operations. The need for coordination between NATO and the EU is explicitly recognized in the 2013 European Council statement, I recall. In this sense, a tighter and more effective cooperation between the EU and NATO is vital. We need two strong legs, two strong pillars for NATO. Not just to avoid duplication, both in procurement and R&D investment, but also concerning the agreement on requirements and standards, which could hugely benefit the interoperability and integration of different armies and joint missions, and there are mentioned before. An ideal European defense industrial base to guarantee a long-term adaptation and superior capabilities should respond to requirements of a centralized procurement body with harmonized national requirements based on pooling and sharing. Benefit from a long-term research and development and procurement plan to permit long-term capabilities planning. Third, export through a single agency to reduce fratrices in international market plus European export mechanism. Why not a sort of FMS as EUS already has? Be subject to a single overarching defense industrial strategy to create centers of excellence based on capabilities with reduced surplus capacity and duplication, so more value for money. Be led by a single executive organization and should supply a unified European military force. Is a dream. Is what already exists in the United States. And if we have to create a common, equal pillar, we have to follow this important experience. The preparatory action is of paramount relevance. Its primary importance is to test and prepare for a potential substantive follow-on program of defense R&D, supported by the Commission starting 2020. Hence, it should focus on testing a small number of different types of products, technology demonstrators, prototype, emerging technologies, particularly unmanned vehicles, because unmanned vehicles is a different command control defense systems, completely different. The role of the national MODs as customers is crucial in terms of perimeter definition and requirement sharing in such a way that project funded by the Commission must have the potential to seal future procurements. In this perspective, the creation of the high-level group of personalities on defense research, chaired by Commissioner Ms. Binkowska, could be a long-sighted choice. The group of personalities will provide, in fact, a deeper interaction amongst politicians, academics, think tankers, and defense company CEOs, analyzing different opportunities, understanding respective needs and requirements, and finding proper solutions to build up a real and effective new policy approach for defense. At the end of the day, the success of this initiative will strongly depend on the effectiveness of the governments which will be adopted, and obviously and particularly on the budget size. I am pretty sure that on this sound basis it will be possible for us to do a good job today on the side of both NATO and EU. I hope as well that this forum could pave the way to a more effective, continuous and technical collaboration amongst the actors present today, possibly in the form of joint working groups, focused on specific things. If we commit ourselves in this way, we will help European industry become more competitive and EU more secure and NATO more stable. Thank you.